friends, welcome back. My name is Dawn and this is Living a Word-Filled Life. And the message I want to give to you today is it all works out in the end. So I want to share that with you, and that's found in the Bible in Romans chapter 8 verse 28, and it says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." God has a perfect plan for your life. He's got it all mapped out, but you have to choose to want his plan for your life. And sometimes his plan leads you through hard places, or places that you don't necessarily want to be or want to go to. Just an example in our life, or mine in particular, is when I moved from Georgia back to Louisiana. I didn't want to go back to Louisiana. Then when I moved from Louisiana to Florida, I didn't want to do that either. And then when I moved from Florida to California, I really didn't want to do that. But now we're back in Florida. And so there were all these twists and turns in our life, and it's true of everyone's life, that there are things that come up and paths that you take that it may not be where you want to be. You may not be doing exactly what you want to be doing, but God has a plan and he has a purpose. And if I sit down and go back through each time that we moved, something significant happened in our lives that contributed to where we are today. Something that happened that was life-altering for us that would not have happened if I would have stayed in Georgia. And so sometimes God has us physically move to a different location. Or sometimes God asks us to move away from a person. Or sometimes he asks us to move towards something, or maybe towards a job that may not be the job that you picked out, but God has a purpose for it. He can see the end from the beginning. So we just need to know that it's going to all work out in the end. So if God has his path for us, and here's the end of God's path, and we go this way, God's going to route you back and get you back on that path again. So just know that he is with you, that he loves you, and he has the greater good in mind for you. And again, sometimes you have to go through hard seasons. Sometimes you have to go through things or go places that you don't want to go to, but he works it out in the end. And I want to read Romans 8:28 to you again, but in the Passion Translation. And it says, "So we are convinced that every detail of our lives is continually woven together to fit into God's perfect plan of our bringing good into our lives. For we are his lovers who have been called to fulfill his design purpose." So each and every one of us has a life that has a designed purpose by God for us, for the body of Christ. You are needed. You are necessary in this world. Every single person, when God breathed you into your mother's womb, I don't care if you were planned, not planned, irrelevant. Every person was breathed into the mother's womb by God, and he has a book written about you. We talked about that a while back. It's Psalms 139. And your purpose is designed by God, and he leads you into that purpose. But you have to choose to want to be on the path that he's taking you down. But it all works out. He has this glorious plan, and it all works out in the end. So you be blessed. We'll see you next week, and thanks for being here. Bye-bye.